What's happening, everybody? I'm really excited to bring this video to you. Today we're going to be going on a kayak ride on the lake in Clare, Michigan called Lake George. We're going to be catching some bluegill, and we're going to go ahead and fillet them up and cook them as well. It was a great morning to do this. I can't wait to go out and do this again. I'm really excited to bring this video to you. It's super fun to go out and catch these bluegill. It can be a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes, but as the title suggests, this is the only way to catch and cook the bluegill. I see a lot of people on the internet just gut them and scale them and cook them up whole in a pan, and it's probably a little controversial to say this, but I think the best way to cook them is to fillet them properly. I know a lot of guys are probably going to say that you're wasting meat that way, but trust me, when it comes down to eating them, you're not going to want to be picking around all these bones and stuff. I find it tedious. When I'm hungry, by the time I get done fishing, I'm pretty hungry, so I want to just be able to smack on it, you know. Anyway, let's just go ahead and follow along for this video and go for a ride. And I'm going to showcase the catches I got. There's a couple surprise teasers in it as well. You're definitely going to want to stick to the end if you're a new fisher or you don't fish very often and you're looking for some meals to add to the plate. You know, bluegill can be caught in pretty much anywhere. I fish a lot of places in Michigan, so yeah, anyway, you definitely want to stick to the end to get the full effect of this video. I'm going to show a really cool way to cook it. There's plenty of different ways to cook it, but I think the best way to fillet them is just fillet them properly instead of just gutting them. And I don't know, I feel like that's kind of a lazy way to do it. I've had them both ways, you know, it's good either way, but in my opinion, it's definitely worth the extra hassle that you go through by filleting them. If you can catch the bigger ones, it definitely helps when it comes to filleting them, you know. So yeah, let's just get into the footage, and we're gonna start by the catch part of it, and you're gonna see me catch a few small ones and a couple of bonus clips, like I said. Let's just see what happens.
Toss him in the bucket. It's 3. Might let the one go. He's a little bit smaller. Well, I knew that would affect him. He's looking pretty rough. Oh, dick. Whatever this is has some girth to it for sure. Well, he's still a little guy. I'll throw him back for sure. It's pretty small too. These are nice bluegill. These are little ones. Let them snack too. What is this? Oh, bad. That's exactly what it is. Huh? Nice. When you're bluegill fishing, you still catch nice little bass. Here's a nice one. Oh my god, I thought it was a bass. It's a freaking sunfish, or it's a bluegill. It's a fighter, that's for sure. Come on, hook. Nicer one. We'll toss him in there too. He's definitely a nicer one. After all, we're looking for a meal here, not just a snack. Dang collection. English snobs. Join your friend, buddy.
Alright, so when it comes to filleting these bluegill, just like any other fish, you're going to want to go ahead and start behind the gill plate and slice inward toward the head. And then I use a 4-inch Rapala blade. It's super nice fillet knife for this. They're cheap. I think it's like 18 bucks at Walmart or something. You want to take the tip of that blade and angle it toward its head. And then as you're going around to come on the backbone, you curve it around and then you bend it out toward you a little bit. So you're actually going to be cutting a little bit toward you, and then at the same time you're going to be cutting toward the backbone on like the spine of the fish, you know. Do your best to stay close to that spine. The closer you get to that, the more meat you're going to get. And then after you get through that part, you just follow it all the way up to the tail, and then just go and rub that blade along the rib cage until you get down to the bottom of where their guts and stuff are. You're going to want to cut around all that and stuff. You'll find some hard parts. You'll see in the clips here where I cut past their fins. You don't want to get that in the mix, you know. The goal is to just get the meat the way I fillet them, you know. This way you don't have any scales to worry about, no bones really. I mean, you're still going to get a little bit of bones in there here and there, but it's definitely a lot less than what you're going to see a lot of other people do. They just gut them and throw the whole fish in the pan. Like I said earlier on in the video, that's not the way I want to do it, because I just like to be able to eat the fish when I'm done with it. So yeah, the best way to do it is to just try your best to keep all the bones and stuff separate from the meat, and then at the end of it you're gonna see meat. If you can keep the fillet attached to the fish when you're sliding that blade off the skin, it makes it a little bit easier to control it. I cut to the footage of a different fish of me doing it where it's attached to the fish still, so you can see the way I like to do it. Make sure you went ahead and got yourself a bowl of cold water, preferably with some ice in it. I didn't have any ice to spare for this video, so I just used some cold water. When you're done with getting the fillet separated from the fish, just throw the fillet in that ice cold water. That way it's nice and cool, and if you're not throwing it right on the pan, either way you're going to want to do this, because there's going to be time between when you fillet the fish and when you go to cook it. You definitely want to, if you're not going directly to the pan, you're going to want to keep it cold on ice. However, you know, by no means am I claiming to be professional of filleting fish or fishing in general. This is more of a hobby to me than anything, and I've really only gotten into it a lot in the last couple of years. I did it as a kid too, but I've really picked up on it in the last couple of years. This is just my preference, and in my opinion, the best way to make these fish. I'm not saying you have to do it this way, but I've tried it both ways, and this seems to me the most painless way to eat it. Yeah, it takes a little bit more work when it comes to filleting the fish, but I think it's worth it. It sure brings out the flavor in them and stuff, and you don't have to pick around them frisky bones. You're still going to get a little bit of it in there, but I think this is the best way to do it. So we're going to start by using one of my favorite batters for fish, obviously Drake's. You know, if you're used to cooking fish, this is one of the most common batters to use for fish, and I like to spice it up a little bit, so I throw some Slappy Mamas in there too. It's Cajun seasoning, and we're gonna fry it. We're gonna pan sear it in butter this time. Usually I'd like to mix a little bit of Lowry's seasoned salt in there as well too, but this is just this. I always experiment with it, and to be honest, pan searing it in butter. I'm not sure if this was the way I'll do it next time. I'm probably gonna go and get some Weston vegetable oil and do it that way the next time. It was still pretty good this way, don't get me wrong, but I mean, don't feel free to like experiment and stuff. You know, there's umpteen amount of ways to do it. So this is just one of the ways I did it. And like I said, I mean, when it comes down to it, the most important thing if you're gonna pan sear it in butter is the way you get the butter warmed up. Start it on low heat. You know, you don't want to burn that butter or else it's gonna taste like crap. You're gonna see in this video, you'll see I kind of keep it off the heat a little bit and just let the butter kind of melt before I start cooking it. And then once we go ahead and get them fillets nice and covered in batter and stuff, we're gonna set them in the pan seared butter, and we'll crank the heat up a little bit. And then you're gonna want to feel free to flip them a few times. You know, you don't have to sit there and just wait. You know, there's no time limit. Just don't be scared to flip them over and check them and stuff. I mean, that's the way I like to do it in order to get the best outcome, you know. And then once you're getting ready to like check it for your final taste and stuff, I mean, cut into it, see if it falls apart and stuff. You're gonna want to see nice white meat, and then you'll know it's good. If it's falling apart, that means you're ready to go. And then we're gonna go ahead and set that on a paper towel and let some of that grease and stuff soak out of it. And you know, and believe me, I'm not gonna go ahead and eat these fish on video, but trust me, you're gonna want to taste it for yourself anyway. I didn't feel the need to show my expressions from eating it. I really enjoy fish, so trust me, I like it no matter what. And yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and trust me, there's gonna be plenty more of this where this comes from. I'm really excited to see where this channel goes. Oh yeah, now that is looking good right there. Throw that right. Oh yeah, now that is what we were looking for right there. See how it's all dried out? Look at this. So you can grab it and just falls apart like that. Look at that. See the white fish meat there? Right. That is what you are looking for right there.